This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about the closures. In the previous session, we have discussed more about the closures. Now, I'm going to show the implementation using closures. For this, I'm going to have one program called factorial of a number. Using closure concept, I'm going to implement the factorial of a given number. Now, I'm going to have one directory. The directory name I'm going to make it as closures. In the directory, I'm going to create a py file. I'm going to have like a closures underscore one. I'm going to have a implementation for factorial of a number. Factorial of a number using closure functions. Using closure functions. I already said to you, closure functions you can apply only in the nested function. Now we should have an outer function. In the outer function, you should have one inner function. Okay, and then the inner function. Okay, the inner function should use a free variable of the outer function. For example, if you have one free variable in the outer function, that free variable you can use in the inner function. That's second property. And third property is that the outer function should return the inner function. These are the three properties you have to follow implementing your closure function. Now I'm going to have like a factorial number. I'm going to have the enclosing function, or you can say the outer function or enclosing function, both are same. Okay, I'm not going to pass any arguments. And then I'm going to have one free variable. Free variable means you can access this variable inside the in a nested function. Inside the nested function you can use. I can make a comment like this. This is going to be the enclosing function, or you can say the outer function. Both are same. Enclosing function, or you can say it's a outer function. And then I'm going to assign a free variable. Free variable means you can use the variable in the nested function itself. Okay, and then I'm going to use calculate of fact. It's going to be a nested function, or you can say it's inner function. You can say it's a nested function or nested or inner function. See, for this fact outer function, the local variable, I can, as of now, I can say local variable fact equal to 1. For this function, I can able to access variable. For this function, I'm not able to access those fact equal to 1 because the scope is defined only for this outer function. This fact equal to 1 is not, the scope is not defined for the inner function. The scope is only for outer function, not for inner function. Okay. Now we're going to see how to implement the closures and then how to reuse that free variables. Okay, how to use the free variables. Now, you know the formula. What formula you know? Fact equal to fact star I. Fact equal to fact star I. Before that, I should have one for loop. I'm going to use an iteral variable. Membership operator is in, and then range I'm going to use. Range I want to use is I'm going to use a 6 up. You might have a question because I want to decrement the value, right? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because if I take 5 factorial, I should 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Like this I want to do, right? Like this I want to do. I want to decrement the value. So that's why I use 6, and then I want to decrement the value one by one. So my increment value is 1. Okay, I can say like step value is going to 1 and then decrement value is going to -1. Okay, if you print the value, you can see. Let's print the value of I. Let we see the results. Whether we can able, we are getting the decrement value or not. How to call this function? You have to use one variable and call the enclosing function fact. and then it's not going to produce any results. It's going to print only the memory address. Hold a minute, I didn't use any return keyword, right? Okay, I have not used any return statement over here. Oh, let it be. Okay, next, print of y of, I going to pass like I going to pass. Okay, I can pass y of. Why is y of, okay, none type is object is not callable. Okay, let it be. Okay, I will implement the solution because till now I not implement the nested function. The return type should be the enclosing function return type should be the inner function, right? Now I'm going to implement the logic. Fact equal to fact star I. Fact equal to fact star I. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to access this variable inside my nested function, but you can try to access variable, but you should not modify it. You should not modify it, but I am trying to modify here. Now fact value is 1, I value is going to get like 6. Okay, I going to get okay, I going to get 6. 1 into 6 will be, that results will be stored in the fact. Again I'll get I will get L5, and then I want to multiply I value is 5 with factorial. Again I want to replace this fact value. I, in the closures we can't able to change the value. You can able to access the value, but you can't able to change the value of the free variable. That thing you have to keep in mind. You can try to access, but you cannot modify the variable because this variable scope is defined only for this fact. But I can use this variable in the closure, but I can't be able to modify. If you want to modify this value, what you have to use? You have to use one more keyword called non-local. Non-local of fact you have to define. What will happen if you are using non-local of fact? This will be referring to this outer scope. This will be referring to the outer scope. Okay, now you can modify the value. If you have doubt, you can click control and then click the fact where the cursor is going. See, I'm placing the cursor over here and clicking the flag fact. Where the cursor went, it went to line number 5. Then this variable is referring to this outer scope. San, I hope you understood. I'm just going to click the fact variable. It's my cursor is going to the fact line 5. Now, what I'm trying to do, I am referring this outer scope free variable. From the inner function, I'm referring this outer scope, sorry, outer function variable. Now you can able to modify the value because whatever I'm making changes in the fact, that's going to impact my outer function variable. What are I going to change? Because I'm going to calculate 5 factorial is 120, right? 5 factorial is 120. Now my outer scope I have only one, at least one. If I want to change this value, I want to use a non-local keyword. The non-local keyword, I'm going to refer the outer scope function variable. Now I can able to change the value. Factor equal factor I, and then what I'm going to do? For this inner function, I going to use the return keyword. Come out of the indentation, come to the for loop, and then return of fact. What is the third property? My outer function should return the should return the come out of the indentation, return of nested function. If someone calls this method, it has to call this method because the return type is call fact. Okay, once the control come over here and then it's going to give the return type is cal of fact. It's going to calculate all the results and finally the results will be stored in fact. Okay, that fact results will, will be returned to the this fact outer function. Otherwise, I will change the name. Okay, fact underscore one. Fact main method I will make. Main method. Fact main. Okay. This is my outer function. This is my going to inner function. This outer function should return the inner function. Okay. Now you're going to say how to call my outer function. You have to assign to a variable. You have to assign to a variable y equal to fact of main, and then hold a minute. If you print of y, if you give print of y, the results will be stored in give memory address. It's going to give like fact dot main dot calculate for, because calculation factor will be a nested function. Will be a nested function. Now what I going to do? I going to have like yeah, hold a minute. Calculate function. I going to calculate factorial number, right? Factorial number. Okay, I going to pass an argument over here. Number argument. Number argument. Remove the 6 and pass the argument as number. Okay, now I can call this variable as a function as per the first class functions. We have one property. You can call the variable as a function. Now we're going to pass. What will I going to pass? 5. Let's see the results. It's guys to give 120, because I passing the values 5. This value is substituted in, instead of number, and then I am trying to decrement the value. 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 minus 1 3, 3 minus 1 2, because the step size is 1. I given the step size is 1, and then step size second parameter I have to pass, third parameter I have to pass the decrement value. As per for we will do, right? For initialization we will do, and then we will go conditions, and then you go for the decrement, right? The same thing, the last argument decrement can get -1. If I want to put step size 2 means I can decrement like -5, -3, -1, like stepwise will be 2. Okay, now I want to make the step as 1, so I can decrement the value as like -1, 5 minus 1 is -4, -4 is -3, -2, -1. Finally it's going to be a 0. Okay, now I'm going to show one more example for closures. See, you have to use a non-local variable. The non-local variable will refer this outer function variable. Okay, if you are using non-local, it will see the outer scope. In the outer scope, it will refer this variable, and then you can try to modify the value. Without non-local keyword, you can't modify the value. I'm going to comment these things now. I'm going to show. Non-local is a keyword actually. Non-local is a keyword. Non-local keyword is trying to refer this outer function variable. For example, you are living in one house. Okay, next to your next to your house, some other house will be there, right? You are referring some other house like this. You have to think. Now I going to comment this thing. Without non-local, I am not able to modify value. I can reuse my value. I can reuse this value. I cannot able to modify. Just you're going to run this script. You're going to get this unbound local error. Cannot access the local variable fact where is not associated value. Okay, you have to use the non-local keyword. That's what we have missed yesterday. And then I'm going to show one more examples. I'm going to make the closures underscore to closures underscore 2. Now I'm going to have one more program for odd numbers. I'm going to have one more program for odd numbers. Okay, we can do for odd number or even number. Okay, we can use odd numbers. I want to print some odd numbers using closures. Can you say the logic? Print odd numbers using closures. What's the first property? It should have a enclosing. It should have an enclosing function, and then should have a one more function inside that enclosing function. That should be nested function. I'm going to have one number called one. Number called one is going to be a local variable for this outer function, but outer function. But if I try to use this variable inside my nested function, I can say it's a free variable. If I try to use this variable inside my nested function, you can say it's a free variable. Now I'm going to have one more function. I can keep like this, okay, for our understanding. Inner function, inner func, and then I'm going to pass a, I'm not going to pass any argument, and then I'm going to have like I want to print only the odd numbers, right? What I can do, num equal to num plus 2, num equal to num plus 2, because see, I'm trying to modify this num value, okay. If I'm trying to access value, is not issue. So I can see here, if I'm trying to access value, it's not a problem at all. If I try to modify the value, because what are the results I'm getting, right? Num plus 1 plus 2 to 3. That results are going to store in different variables, not issue. I want to store the same variable. I want to store the results in the same variable. Then what you have to use? What you have to use? Non-local keyword. Non-local keyword you have to use, and then this non-local keyword is referring to the outer function variable. Referring to the outer function variable. Now I can able to access the value, I can able to change the value, everything I can do. Okay. See, instead of writing like this, you can make like num equal to num plus 2. Num equal to, now like this you can make num plus or equal to 2, you can make. You can make like this, or you can make like num equal to num plus 2. Both are same. Now I'm going to make num plus equal to 2. Now I'm going to return this value. I'm going to return the value as return of num. Okay. What third property? If someone calls my outer function, I want to return my inner function. Just call inner function. That's it. Very simple. Now, how to call this my outer function? Have some variable name equal to calculate, and then use one print statement, and then see here I don't have any argument, right? Here I don't have any argument. Just pass, call the variable. That's it. Call the variable. For understanding, I can make a hint. Call the outer function. It's going to give 3. It's going to give 3 as a result, because I'm going to print only the what number? Only odd numbers. 1 plus 2 will be 3. If you have doubts, what you can do, just put a line breakpoint and then try to debug the program, and you can able to understand the flow. Okay, if I want to go to this calculate function, then I can use step into. Now it's on to line of 5, and then you can use step over for line by line execution. You can use step over. Step into means you can enter into the function. Now it's went to the function. Now what happens if I give step over? It's directly going to call this return statement. The return will going to call the inner function and going to compute all the results, and then finally it's going to print the result as 3. Okay, you're going to see it's going to print the result as 3. Now I'm asking a question to you. If I give print of odd, what will happen? Whether it's going to give 3 3, or it's going to give like 5. I'm asking you whether it's going to give 3 5, or only 3 3. because calculate because I already said function is an object. You're creating a partial object and storing as in the variable called ODD. Okay. After that, when you calling that variable as a function, what will happen? It's going to compute result with three computers three. That results will be stored in memory. Now, if you call again ODD of function, it's a variable actually. Okay, you call the function. What will happen? It will take the previous value. Now the number is three. Now number is three. Three plus two, 5. You have to get three and five. You have to get three and five. That's the beauty of closure function. Okay. What will happen whenever you call this function? It will keep all the results in memory. Okay. If you call the again the same function, what will happen? It will take the num value as three. Now the num value is three. Three plus two will be five. If again using print of odd, what will happen?
7.
5 plus 2, 7. Okay, that's the beauty of closures. Okay, see, in any other project they won't use closures, I know. Because many people will write here standalone functions. No will go for the nested functions. And then no one will go for the decorator as well. They'll use the static method decorators. Okay, they will use some other decorators they will use. Okay, but they won't go the function decorators because it's very complex. If you go into the project, they will write only the standalone functions. They won't go for this closures. They won't go for this decorators. Next topic, I'm going to show the decorators. I'm going to do some function decorators and the chain decorators. It's very complex topic actually. Okay, this is how you can able to implement the closures. Okay, the closures of first thing is you can reuse this free variable inside another function. That's the beauty of this closures. And then I can able to return my, if someone calls this method, I can return my inner function. If someone calls this method, I'm going to call this function, I'm going to return the value of the main inner function. That thing I can do. Okay, and then third thing you should be if you want to modify the value of my local variable outer scope, then I can use non-local. The non-local refer this outer variable and can able to change the value. This is the beauty of closures. Now I'm going to say a few more points about closures, and then if someone asks about closures, you can say i'm I'm binding my data to the code. See, I'm doing. This is my data. I'm binding my data to this code. This is code, right? This inner function is a code actually. I'm binding my data to this code. You can say in simple terms. And then we can say like there are so much things are there. Python closure is a nested function that we can be able to access the variables of the outer function even after the outer function is closed, because this calculate function scope is closed here. Line number 6 is closed, but but still I can able to access my variable inside my nested function. That's the beauty of the closures. We can allow to access variables of the outer function even after the outer function is closed. And then using closures we can create nested functions, and then through nested function we can access the outer variables. That thing you can do. And then what I can say, uh, closures can be used to avoid the global values, as well as we are providing the data hiding. Data hiding means we are hiding this data inside my inner function. We can say simple terms, we are hiding the data or binding the data. We are binding the data or hiding the data inside the inside which function? Inside the nested function. See, we are taking the data and then hiding in this inner function itself. That's why I'm saying we are binding the data, or we can say it's hiding the data inside the nested function. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, these are the various examples of closures. I'm going to show one more example of closures. It's very simple one. Closures underscore 3. Closures underscore 3. Now, I'm going to multiply the value. I'm going to multiply the two values. I'm going to have an outer function, giving some make multiplier, and then I'm going to pass on arguments. Make multiplier, something you can do off. I'm going to pass on arguments called x, and then now you have to say which one is free variable. Now you have to say which one is free variable. Multiplier, and then I'm going to pass one more argument, and then I'm going to return x into y, and then uh, for this multiplier, this is going to return a statement. For this make multiplier, what you have to do, you have to use a return here, and then I'm going to call this inner function. Now, which one is free variable? Now, which one is free variable? Now, whatever the argument you are passing, right, x, that's going to be free variable because this x can be you are accessing inside the next function. You are using this argument of x inside the nested function. Now, x is going to be a free variable. Okay. Now, how to call this function? Make multiplier of. You have to say how to call this make multiplier of. Take some variable d equal to make multiplier of. Whether I want to pass any arguments, I want to pass any arguments for make multiplier of. Definitely, you have to pass because you given an argument x, right? You have to pass some you have to pass the arguments. I'm going to use a 3. X value is 3, and then I'm going to use a print statement, and then whatever the results I commute, right, that will be stored in the variable d. The d is going to give you some partial object. You can see it's going to give a partial object. Make multiplier inside we have one more function multiplier. If I want to call this multiple function, I have to use this d of function. Now, whether I want to pass any variable, sorry, now I want to pass any argument, definitely I have to pass argument. Y argument you have to pass. I'm going to make 5. Now, 5 into 3 will be 15. Now, if I called print of d of 10, what result will be? 30. Yeah, hold a minute. Now, the results will be 5 into 15. 15 into 10. 15 into 10. It's going to 150, I guess. Let's see. 30. Okay, 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 okay. Sorry, sorry. Okay, it's multiplying, right? Okay. 15, it's multiplying into 30. Okay. And then results will be 15 and 30. Now, this is the use of closures. Now, I'm going to show the difference of non-locals. I'm going to have one directory. The directory I'm going to keep non-local. In the non-local, I'm going to keep like py file name is non-local underscore one. Non-local underscore one. Those are the tabs. What we can do using non-locals. Again, I'm going to create some nested function. See, non-local keyword it is said to you use to refer a variable in the nearest scope. Used to refer a variable. Non-local keyword is used to refer variable in the nearest scope. Listen carefully, I'm going to confuse you. I'm going to have more nested functions, and then I'm going to use a non-local keyword. Non-local keyword means used to refer a variable in the nearest scope. Now, I'm going to have a method like if diff, and then I'm going to have like fruits. Okay, function name is fruits, and then the name of fruit is kiwi. Name of fruit is kiwi. What variable it is? What variable it is? It is a local variable. Don't get confused. Once you see inside the function, you can see. I want to say it's a local variable. If you are trying to access those values inside the nested function, then you can say it's a free variable. If you are trying to access variable inside the nested function, then you can say it's a free variable. Till now, it's a local variable. Till now, it's a local variable. Okay, fruits. Now, what I can do, like, yeah, fruit. Okay. Now I'm going to have one more nested function, fruits underscore one. Fruits underscore one. Now I'm trying to change the value of my fruit name. What I'm going to do directly, I'm going to change the name without non-local keyword. Let's see, going to see. Instead of kiwi, I'm going to give banana. Now I'm going to print. You can use return keyword or you can use print. Okay. Now I'm going to return. What I'm going to return? I'm going to return the name. Now you going to say, now you going to say how to call this function. Otherwise, we'll do one thing. We'll implement the closures. Of fruits underscore one. Let it be. Now, how to call this function? Some take some variable, call the outer function, and then print off. What I do? Print off g. Only g I have to do a g of function. Then only I can call the inner function. Then only I will call the inner function. If I run the script, whether I will get kiwi or banana, that's my question. If I run the script, whether I will get kiwi or banana, how you can say the kiwi? Let's see. How you can say it's a kiwi? Hold a minute. I'm making some mistakes over here. I'm making a mistakes over here. Wait. Look at the line number 6. Look at the line number 6. The name is looking grey color. The name is looking in grey color. Look at line number 9. The name barely looking in white color. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? It's looking grey color. It's giving a name in white color. Now, if you call this g of function, what will happen? It will think this inner function, this is going to be a local variable. For the inner function, it's going to be a local variable. That's why you're getting banana. That's why you're getting banana. If I want to refer my nearest scope for this fruit underscore one, which is the nearest scope. Fruits function is the nearest scope. Fruits function is the nearest scope. Then what I can do? I can use non-local, sorry, non-local, and then give name. Now what happened line number 6 now? Gray color is converted to white color. You can able to see, right? After removing this, you can see it will be looking the gray color. You can see the sixth line number. After removing this comment line, you can see the name looking in the white color, right? Now, non-local keyword used to refer a variable in the nearest scope. For fruits underscore one, this fruit function is the nearest scope, right? That's why it's referring. Now, if you run the script, what will happen? I'm trying to change my outer function variable value. Instead of kiwi, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get only banana. I'm going to get banana. And now I'm trying to modify the outer function variable value by using which keyword? Non-local keyword. Non-local keyword is to refer the variable in the nearest scope. Now I'm going to have one more method. Now which one is outer function? You have to say now which one is outer function? Now which one is outer function? Which one are going to be nested functions? I will do one thing for your understanding. I will do the proper indentation. Okay, let it be. And then do like this. Ah, now you have to say which one is going to our enclosing function, which is going to nested function. I have three functions: fruits underscore two, fruits, and then fruit underscore one. Now you have to say which one is the enclosing function, which is going to nested functions. Fruit underscore two is going to be the enclosing function, and then fruits underscore one is going to nested function because in functions. Now, if I using non-local keyword, hold a minute. If I using non-local keyword, what will happen? It's going to refer the nearest scope. Okay, I don't know why it's not referring. Hold a minute. One thing, I will take one more class and then I'll show these things to you. Happen. Okay, let it be. Okay, I'll get one more class. Okay, it's fine, right? After this, I'm getting banana. I'm going to create one more class for non-local underscore two. This is the difference you want to understand. Okay, there are n number of nested functions will be there. How to use a non-local keyword to refer the current scope. To refer the current scope. Now we're going to show an implementation. Okay, now I can make like fruit underscore one, fruits underscore one is going to be a enclosing function, and the name equal to I going to have banana. What variable belongs to? It's going to local variable, and then I'm going to have one more function, fruits underscore two. Okay, name I'm going to use kiwi. Name I'm going to use kiwi. Okay, now for this nested function, this is going to local variable. Okay, and then I'm going to have one more function, fruits underscore three. This time I'm not going to use any closures. I'm going to use non-local non-local name non-local name I'm going to use, and then I'm going to print the name. Okay, I made a blunder mistake with function, right? So all are functions. I miss the brackets, non-local name, and then I'm going to print the name. Listen carefully, and then I'm going to change the value name equal to. I'm confusing, that's it. Oranges, and then print the name, print the name. Now this time I'm not going to. Now this time I'm not going to use the return statement. Directly I'm going to call this function fruit underscore three like this way. Also you can able to call. Instead of return, what I can do, if someone call this fruits two, I going to call this fruit underscore three. I'm going to call this fruit underscore three. See, for this method, I'm printing the value. If someone calls this method, I'm going to call this method fruit underscore of three. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Next, what I'm going to do, I'll come out of this integration. If someone calls this method, I'm going to call fruits underscore two. It's a little bit tricky. Just reformat the file. Okay, I hope you understood. If someone calls fruit underscore one, it's going to call fruit underscore two function. If you call the fruit underscore two function, it's going to call fruit underscore three function. You can use certain keyword or you can call like this as well. This is a older approach. In Python 2.0 we will use like this only. In Python 1.0 we will use like this only. Instead of return keyword, we will use the function name itself. If someone calls, you can see the arrow marks, line arrows. If someone calls fruit underscore one, it's going to call fruit underscore two method. After calling the fruit underscore two method, it's going to call the, you can see the diagrams. It's going to call the fruit underscore three. Okay, should see like this. Okay, now what I going to do, I going to run the script. That's it. I going to run the script. Okay, before running the script, what I can do, I'm going to print the name. Print the name, and then I want to call the fruit underscore one, right? I'm going to write some driver code. How to write driver code? If then magic methods, magic variable equal to comparison operator, and then if it is main module, then I'm going to call what makes you get it? Yeah, fruits underscore one. I'm going to call. So I hope you understood. I'm going to call only one method. That method itself is going to call the fruit underscore two. Fruit underscore two going to call the fruit underscore three. So I'm going to call like this. Okay. Now what will be the results? You're going to see what going to be the results. I'm going to call only one method. What are you trying to say?
Oranges.
First you get oranges, okay, fine. What about next one? First you can look at here. If someone calling fruit underscore one, it's going to call the fruit underscore two. The control is going to fruit underscore two, and then after calling the fruit underscore two, it's going to call the fruit underscore three. Okay, you have to look at the line. I'm using non-local. Non-local means you can click on the cursor over here. Let's see where it's pointing to. Click on the name. It's referring to the current scope. For this fruit underscore three, current scope is fruit underscore two. Okay, it won't refer this outer scope variable. It will refer only the current scope. Okay, now I getting the I'll get kiwi, and then it's going to print kiwi first. After that, it's going to print oranges. After that, what is the third result is going to come? I say the two results. Once you're calling the fruit underscore three, it's going to refer the current scope, right? First, I'm going to get the kiwi. I'm going to print the kiwi, and then I change the value. Instead of kiwi, I replace the oranges. It's going to print first. We're going to print kiwi. Second, it's going to print the oranges. What's the third output? Because
Banana.
here I used one more print statement. This name is going to refer which name? It's going to print kiwi or banana or oranges. That's what I want to know. First output is kiwi. Second is orange. Third is
Oranges.
how orange will come. That's my question. Look at here carefully. I'm taking a notepad. First call this fruit underscore one outer function. If you call this function, otherwise I'll debug this code. Wait, just debug. Function functionality. If I want to go inside a function, I want to use step into. I went to function, and then I'm going to use step over. Now, what's the name? As of now, what's the name? It is your banana. You can see
Banana.
it is banana, and then I'm going to use step over. Why the control is transferred to the fruit underscore two now? See, suddenly it's went to fruit underscore two because the fruit underscore data type is fruit underscore two.
Fruit
Okay, that's why
underscore
the
two.
control is transferred to fruit underscore two. Now you step over. Fruit underscore two return type is fruit underscore three. Hold a minute. What name it's printing actually? Okay, wait. I want to see the console actually. Okay. Hold a minute. I made a blunder mistake actually. What is happening? First, it taking the name equal to banana. After that, it's going to call the fruit underscore two. The fruit underscore two. Fruit underscore two. Wait, fruit underscore two. Okay, it's calling the fruit underscore two. Okay, and then you are assigning the kiwi, and then fruit underscore two value is going to call the fruit underscore three. Okay, what about kiwi? Kiwi should come first, now. Yeah, see here. What I said is correct. Kiwi is first, orange is second, and third. The result is going to be a banana. Okay, now I can give a clear expression for you. First, what you do, you call fruit underscore one. Okay, now the value of name will be assigned to banana, and then the fruit underscore one going to call this fruit underscore two method, and then it's going to come over here. The now the name value is kiwi, and then the fruit underscore two. What will happen is going to call this fruit underscore three. Once you call fruit underscore three, I use non-local. Non-local is going to refer the current scope. The first is going to kiwi, first is going to kiwi, and then it's going to print the kiwi. Second, what trying to do here is I'm trying to change, instead of kiwi going to change oranges. Next we're going to print orange, and then after computing all the results, find it come to the line of 16. Find line of 16. This name is going to refer the banana. because I am putting outside of the scope. Okay, see the fruit underscore scope will be defined for this name only. Now it's going to print the banana. You can see kiwi, oranges, and banana. That's the use of non-local keyword used to refer the current scope. It won't refer this banana. It won't refer this banana. If I want to refer this banana, what do I have to do? Okay, non-local name. Now this name is referring to this name. This name is referring to this name. I'm confusing your what? What I'm trying to say is this non-local name is referring to this current scope. This non-local name is referring to this current scope.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now, these are the various examples for the non-local keywords used to refer the current scope. I already made a hint over here. Used to refer a variable in the nearest scope. For this fruit 3 function, this is going to nearest scope. For this fruit scope, this is going to be nearest scope. Okay, using no local, non-local keyword used to refer the refer variable in the nearest scope. Now, I'm going to say the non-local keyword won't work on global variables. Won't work on global variables. Okay. For example, if you want to refer a global variable, you can't use a non-local keyword. If you want to refer the global variable, we can't use the non-local keyword because the scope is restricted. We can refer only the current scope. Sorry, we can refer only the previous scope. Okay. If you have a nested scope, you can't go to the main scope. That's the drawback in the non-local keyword. Now we're going to see the advantages. It helps in accessing the variables in the upper scope because from this scope I can able to access this variable value. That's why I'm saying it helps increasing the helps in accessing the variables in the upper scope. And then since it's referring the variable, I can reuse the variables so that memory address of the variable is also reused. If I'm trying to use this variable, I'm trying to reuse this variable, right? So that memory address of the variable also reuse. Therefore, it can save the memory. It can save the memory because I'm using the same variable, so I'm using the memory, right? And then these are the various advantages. First thing is I can able to access the variable in the upper scope. Second thing is I can able to refer the variable of the upper scope so that memory address of variable is also reused and therefore it saves the memory. The disadvantage is the non-local keyword cannot be used to refer the global variables or you can say local variables. Second point is the non-local keyword can be used inside the nested structures. The non-local keyword can be used only inside the nested structures. You can't use outside the nested structures. You can't use non-local keyword. Only nested structures you can use. Now these are the various drawbacks using non-local keyword. Now can I implement non-local keyword here? Can I implement non-local keyword here? I can give some name. See, in compile time, it's not throwing any error. If you run the script, definitely it will throw an error. Okay. Mostly the non-local keyword can be used inside the nested function. That is the major drawback. Okay. Only nested function we can use. You can't use the non-local keyword in the enclosing function. And then we can't refer the global variables. Using non-local function, I can't refer the global variables. Now, I'm going to have one value, your name equals an what variable it is. What it is? It's a global variables. Can I able to access variable using non-local? Can I able to access variable using non-local? You can't able to access. That is a major drawback in the non-local keyword. Now the name is going to be global variable because the name value can be accessed anywhere. Outside the function I can able to access, inside function also I can able to access. But using non-local I can't able to refer my global variables. That is the drawbacks. And then I hang on local variable j equal 20. Can I able to access this local variable using non-local? Can I able to access j? It's a local variable actually. J is a local variable. Can I able to access local variable using non-local? No. That's what they mentioned. The drawback is global variables or local variables cannot be accessed using non-local keyword. That's why I'm trying to remove this j equal 20, and then I'm going to remove my global variables as well as because fruit underscore one there is no outer scope. You can't able to see another scope over here. The scope is 0. For fruit underscore 2 I have scope, right? For fruit underscore 1 I don't have any scope, so you should not use a non-local in the enclosing functions. I'm going to sign off this session.